So today we're here at Century in Louisville, and we are going to be finalizing some cabinet decisions for Edgewood. So you guys follow along as we look at cabinet colors, and we're going to select some pulls today. So I have actually pulled two boards that Jason and I are looking at for our cabinets at Edgewood. So when selecting cabinet pulls, there's a couple of variables that you have to look at. You have to look at your finish. Do you love the golds, the silvers, the bronze, the matte blacks? And then also you have to decide, do you love a long handle, a cup pull, a knob? So there's some choices to be made. So Jason and I are kind of looking, I think, at the longer handles and maybe making them a little bit oversized. So I'm really actually drawn to this style. So you can see it comes in this, which is considered an appliance pull. And then it also comes a smaller version of this. I love the little knobs too. And then the cup pulls. We have the cup pulls at our current house, but I don't think I'll be using them at the kitchen at this house. Just switching it up just because we can. So this is definitely a contender. And I also love the feel of this. It's a different tone of brass. So you can see it comes in several different finishes. And one last thing to consider too, if you are using a longer pull on a drawer, do you want two pulls on a drawer, or would you rather see one long pull on a drawer? So these are just some things to consider when you're designing your own kitchen.
All right, guys, so in the kitchen, I'm trying my darndest to interject just a little bit of modern influences in this kitchen, and I think it was actually Gretchen's idea to go with a high sheen on the cabinet. So usually it's medium sheen, a little bit of shine to it, but
right.
Wanted to have that crisp, modern feel to it,
but still have a classic.
So I think our wall cabinets will be this white color, high sheen, and I think we've narrowed down to this navy color for the island. We've looked at a couple different samples.
Two different ones, and we're kind of back and forth on which one we like, but yeah.
And the third option, we did have a natural colored one, but I think we've decided to nix that one just because the floors are going to be a little more medium brown tone. And one of the things I'm super stoked about is intermixing a little bit of brass into the kitchen. So this island's got a little bit of decorative flair to it, but we're going to make the baseboard of our island run brass all around the base. And we'll do some close-ups of the drawings and show you where that goes. And instead of a traditional X, we're going to do a square shaker panel, but then we're going to put brass inlay in that shaker panel just to give it that preppy vibe that we kind of talked about, carrying over from the pantry.
And classic. So, I think it's just using classic elements such as brass, navy, high gloss.
And we'll pull, so what kind of hardware will we do?
So definitely, as mentioned earlier, we're going to lean towards a brass. And I think it's the satin brass. It's not super shiny. And I love the idea of using the oversized pulls on all the doors and drawers. So this was just an example board that I had pulled here at Century of kind of the direction that I was leaning towards.
Yeah, so if you did that, like what color lighting? I know we haven't even talked about lighting yet, but what would you put over the island?
Oh, I've already found some lighting that I think I love. So, yeah, so actually I found some really cool high gloss navy pendants. So I'm thinking that would be really crisp and pretty in that kitchen.
Well, if you guys remember, you know, this kitchen, we've gotten rid of, there's hardly any upper cabinets. So we put all those windows. We'll show you a little close-up of some of the drawings now that we have in the cabinetry. But we really want to connect the outside. So there's not a whole lot of upper cabinetry. So we're going to maximize storage in the island as well as utilize that butler's pantry for a lot of the storage solutions. So we do have one big topic of discussion has been the hood. So we've gone around and around, looked at 10 different options, and I finally threw something up there and it stuck. Usually I throw it and it, boom, dreams crushed.
Well, I do want to say that I think originally what you were proposing just did not feel right with the home. And again, I keep reiterating this, but I do want to kind of keep with the history of the house, and I feel like anything that we put in feels like it needs to make sense with a 150-year-old house.
I gotcha. So the hood we went with is pretty cool. It's just going to be a big white hood. Not necessarily a mantle style or a scoop style. We're just filling in like a 9-foot area. And we're gonna put a few little brass strips on the hood, and the whole bottom is gonna be a hood. But we've kind of put a whole feature wall on the, right there. You can kind of see it. So we've highlighted the brass right there, and then this whole band across the bottom is gonna be brass. So I wanted that focal point to be the hood. We'll do a cool backsplash, and then we'll have our 48-inch range there. And this opening here will carry on into our dining room. So I think it's gonna give us both what we want. Gretchen gets a little bit of her brass. I get a little bit of, I just wanted a big hood.
Just something
in there.
different.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we do like to push the envelope a little bit and go outside of the box and be
Yeah.
creative. We don't want something that's already been seen or done, but then again, I think it has to have that timeless look.
Yeah, and we've got a couple spots in the kitchen. I think we're gonna do the refrigerator and maybe one upper cabinet, which are really only the 2 cabinets in the kitchen that go taller. And Gretchen's got a really cool design that, this is,
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of, if you pan in, you'll see, it's almost a little bit of a fretwork type design on that cabinetry. So, again, that and the high gloss will, I think, be pretty cool. Because that'll be, will that be white?
Yeah, I think we decided that would be white, so
Yeah.
I think that'll really show up really well.
Yeah. So that's kind of the kitchen. Anything else in there that,
Oh, there'll be lots of cool little,
Yeah.
you know, the pull-out spice drawers and all those little details that we need to
Yeah.
pan out.
yeah, so the thought was in the kitchen, the island, all the countertops are kept clean, and then we'll put all the working stuff, the toaster, the coffee maker maybe.
Yeah, him and Noah are really pushing for like a coffee maker.
I've got that, I'll show you that.
Yes.
But we're gonna put all that stuff in the pantry, so the kitchen will be kept clean hopefully most of the time, and it will be truly a working pantry.
Yeah, and the island will be all one level.
And then so our 48-inch range, I think we're gonna make that a whole separate episode, maybe take you on a field trip to actually see it maybe being made. So we've got some
Yes.
surprises in store for you that
Yeah,
one here
we're
in a
super
couple weeks.
excited about that.
Yeah, so maybe we can go check out that coffee maker.
Yes, sounds good.
All right, cool. All right, so we hinted about the coffee maker. I've shushed Gretchen away so I can actually make some decisions here that are gonna stay. But I've always wanted a built-in coffee maker. My son Noah and I love coffee, and currently we make it on the desktop or the countertop. And there's also always coffee grinds or all that stuff scattered around. So the cool thing I like about the built-in coffee makers is you can put your coffee beans in here, put your water in here. Actually, I'm gonna hook up a water line so I don't have to fill it up, the container. You can put milk in here, all your stuff, all built in, all integrated. So very clean look, super excited about this. This will be in the butler's pantry. We'll show you maybe in a few weeks exactly where that's gonna go in the butler's pantry. But that kind of wraps up a little bit of what we have going on in the kitchen. Come back next week. I think we're going to talk a little bit more about finishes. Gretchen's got some rugs, some carpet, maybe look at some lighting, and then we're going to start talking countertops as well for the kitchen and possibly an update. So anyway, check out Edgewood Reno on YouTube. Our Building a Better South is the channel. Follow Gretchen Black on Instagram. I'm Artisan Signature Homes, Jason Black on Instagram. And make sure you subscribe to our channel. We'll see you next week. Thanks, guys.